Hello everyone. Where are we today and why are we here? We're here in the little Victorian rural town of Buninyong. We are about 10 kilometres south of Ballarat, and it's quite a lot to see in Buninyong. Population of 3,800. A quaint little rural town you could probably not want to see. A lot of history, and even today there is a lot going on. First thing we see is over the back we see the cone of a dormant volcano called Mt Buninyong. 900 metres tall. The name comes from the local Wadawurrung language, meaning man with knees pulled up to chest. Personally, I don't really see it, but it's dormant, hasn't erupted for about 500,000 years. So I think we're quite safe. There is a lot of history in this town. First explored in 1838 by the Learmonth brothers and William Ewell, and post office opened in 1845. Railway opened in 1889. In 1842, the first doctor arrived, and it was proclaimed a town in 1851. In its day, it was the largest inland settlement in Victoria. And here we have the Buninyong Hotel. And it's noteworthy, if I can get the right lighting, this is the iconic Ballarat Bertie, who's a symbol for Ballarat beer. Bertie the Cellarman. Now Bertie, this is a recent 2025 incarnation, but I think you'll agree I think it's pretty sensational. So, we're going to take a walk. And what is there in Buninyong? Well, to be honest, it's pretty much everything that you'd want. It has a grand town hall, which we're going to have a look. It has a service station, otherwise known as a servo. It has a post office. It has an RSL, which is in that corner over there. It has a vet, a supermarket, a chemist, several cafes, a CFA brigade, and quite a lot of history. So pretty much everything that you'd want out of a little quaint rural town. Talking to local real estate agents, they tell me that Buninyong is the sort of place that it's hard to buy a house, because once people move into Buninyong, they don't generally move out. So we have the old courthouse, council chamber, and town hall. We have a number of absolutely lovely houses which we're going to go and have a look at. And as you can see, some really lovely historic buildings. Would like to have taken you up to the top of Mt Buninyong, but unfortunately we had some very bad fires in summer and much of the mount burned, and the access road is still closed while the trees regenerate. Particularly sad because it's quite a wildlife area and a koala habitat, and it burnt for several days actually. So even now, months later, it's closed. But I'll take you up to Mount Innes, which gives a good overall panorama of the town. Now, possibly one of the most important but least conspicuous buildings in Buninyong is this lovely little miner's cottage. And this is HISCOCKS cottage. And if you have a look at one of my previous videos, you'll see that Thomas Hiscock was a blacksmith here in Buninyong, and we have much to thank him for, because in August 1851, whilst out prospecting, he discovered gold just west of Buninyong, and that led to basically the Ballarat Gold Rush and the great riches that ensued. So we have the old post office currently up for sale for 1.8 million Australian dollars. 1873, and it served as a post office until the year 2000, and they opened up a brand new facility just around the corner down from the service station. We have had some very, very strong winter winds, and sadly the Australian flag has come adrift. So here we are in the heart of Buninyong, and this here is all that remains of the Buninyong railway station. and the Buninyong line. So that's heading south, headed north, up through the hills, through Mount Helen, Mount Clear, suburb of Canadian, and joined the main branch line at Ballarat. It was affectionately known as the Bunny, and it ran from 1889 and stopped taking passengers in 1930 and finally stopped taking freight in 1947. All that really remains now is the platform. Sheds are obviously new. They have been converted into a Lions project, and this is the Buninyong men's shed. At one stage, the line did extend across through where was now the swimming pool and primary school and the Midland Highway, but long since discontinued.